So today I shall continue my Mandukhya Upanishad, part number 4 in English. Before that, Sarve Janaha Sugino Bhavantu, Dirghashman Bhava, Stribhyaha Dirgha Sumangali Bhava, Kanya Stribhyaha Shigrameva, Vivaga Praptirastu, Sarva Mangalani, Abhivruddhir Bhavatu, Tathastu. So the Rishi beautifully argues. He argues on the concept based. Now I will give you these words in Advaita Prakarana, verse number 22 and 24. We already saw verse number 21, and before that also, where he says everything has to be through Maya only, because I will come to that explanation greater, and I want all viewers to view till the end all my parts. Then only you will get a clear understanding whether we are atheist or not. We are not atheists. That's the point. In verse number 22, the Rishi very beautifully says, he starts in 22. In 21, we saw everything has to be Maya, but in verse number 22, he states, Swa Bhavena Amritaha Yasya Swa Bhavena Amritaha Yasya Bhavaha Gacchati Martyatam Gacchati Martyatam Kritam Kritakena Amritaha Tasya Bhavaha Katham Stasyati. I will come to this. Nischalaha. Katham stasyati. Stha is a root word in Sanskrit for stand. So how can he stand? Katham stasyati nischalaha, on the unchangeable, immortal, unchangeable, infinite. How he can stand? When swabhavena amritaha. If he says, when he says that swabhavena, by his own reasoning power, amritaha, that bhavaha, gacchati martyatam, if he can go to mortality. Martyata means mortality here. Gacchati means going. If it can goes to mortality, kritam kena, krita kena, I am separating, krita kena, amritaha, tasya, of his bhavaha, katham, how he can stand up on his face when his bhavaha, when his own opinion is immutability, changeless. When he calls the Paramatma as an immutable, changeless, infinite form, and when that, and it is immortal, it cannot be mortal. Now how he can stand up on his face when he says that immortal becomes mortal through creation? He creates mortal beings. The immortal, how he can create mortal beings when you stand, when that person stands on his own faith of the Nischala Bhavaha, the immutable, the infinite, the changeless form, infinite, non-perishable, eternal. So it cannot, we will see the explanation later on. How? Because when you create the concept of a God, the God has been created by whom? By we. Because we want God to help us in all our difficulties, because all of us are born in different way. So God has been impartial to us, partial to us, and not impartial, because all of us are born differently. Poor, rich, blind, handsome, weak, dark, all these things. Diseased, tragedies in life, emotional, lots of things, variations. So God has become partiable. So how can God be partiable? So you have created the God as you have created the universe, or you have created these cars, the motors, the houses, all the steel, the chemicals, the iron, whatever it is you have created, all your automobiles, all your computers, all your mobiles, only we have created. So we have created God, so that God is helpful to us and solves our problems, because we are born with problems. Okay, that's a fundamental thing. Whether God has created or not is a different issue. But as per the Rishi, only Maya you see. Through Maya only you see all the creations, and that Paramatma has not created anything. No, let us come to that fact. So this Rishi says, how can that fellow, that person who stands firmly on the belief of immutable, infinite, eternal, changeless God, now says that the immortal creates mortality like us? How can he stand on his own faith? Is it possible? It is not possible, because the immortal cannot change itself. See, suppose an immortal wants to create human beings. First, it has to expand itself from infinite, plus it creates 5 crore of 505 billion humans. So it becomes infinite plus 5 billion, which it cannot do. Infinite is infinite always. Or in its infinite form, it has to change itself to some portion being mortal human beings. Is it not? Because the infinite is everywhere. The Paramatma, as per Vedas and as per everywhere, is everywhere. Is Vishnu. In every atom. Vish means presence, Anu means atom. In every atom, whether it is monkey, donkey, or snake, or human beings, it is there in every atom. Even in devils, even evils, even in terrorist persons, it is there. Okay. So, it cannot now, the pristine form, infinite eternal form, cannot make or change itself to a portion of mortality. It cannot. It has to be eternal, because mortality is not eternal. So the definition is, it has to be eternal, permanent in all aspects. That is what we say, Anandam. Anandam Brahme Divya Janat Ananda Devakal Vimani Bhutani Jayante Anande Najatani Jivanti Anantam Prayantya Abhi Vishanti Iti. I will come to that later on. So that Paramatma has to be in that state only, without changing itself, without expanding itself, without changing its character, without being finite. If you have some quantity, infinite quantity today, how can you go and expand it tomorrow by saying infinite plus 5,000? There is no meaning. And how it can be eternally infinite? It is also changing. So that is what the Rishi argues. How can the fellow who believes in this, believes in immortality, eternality, and the changeless forms of the Paramatma, can now say he has created, he brings creations? And another beautiful verse, verse number 24, same Advaita Prakarana, section 3, the Rishi argues beautifully. Neha. Neha means I am splitting for easy understanding for Sanskrit students. Na iha nana iti cha amnayat. Na iha nana iti cha and amnayat indraha Maya bihi iti api ajayamano, it will come, so I am splitting. Ajayamanaha bahuta amritaha mayaya jayate tu saha. Mayaya jayate tu saha. So, ajayamanaha, what the Rishi says, unborn. Ajayamano bahuta Mayaya jayate tu saha. Only. Tu is a big meaning, but of it has, but tu. Only saha, he. That is, only by Maya, the ajayamanaha, the unborn goes. That means only through Maya. Why? Because na iha here, na iha nana, this all nana vida mantrani, pushpani samarpayami, we say no mantra. Nana vida means 4 varieties, means bahuni varieties, bahuda. So different nana iti cha amnayat indraha. See, amna is a Vedic word. Everything which is coming from that Vedas, or I would say esoteric. Well, that's a meaning I give. Amnayat indraha. Indraha has 2 meanings. Indra in Vedic times only Indra was there. The Vishnu, Shiva and all came later on. But Indra also means mind. As per Shankara Bhashya, Indra also can be mind. So the mind creates. Cha amnayat indraha maya bihi, by mayas. Maya bihi iti, thus api also. Because the entire mind has been created, the 5 senses has been created through maya. Maya bihi. Tritiya vibhakti for students, bahuvachanam. Maya bihi, by Maya only. Ajayamanaha. Jayamanaha is found. Being unborn. Ajayamanaha is sannanta pratyaya. It continuous. Shatru pratyaya, sannanta pratyaya we have. So, for passive voices we use sannanta pratyaya. Ajayamanaha. The being unborn, ajayamanaha. What is ajayamanaha? Ajayamanaha bahuta. The Bahuda means lots of things. Bahuta, Mayaya only. See, the unborn, it comes, you have to do some Anvaya. See, Bahuta Mayaya Jayate. That's all he says. So, the Ajayamana, the unborn does not create all these things, but only by Maya. Maya, Mayaya, Jayate, tu Saha. He goes only by Maya. Who? The unborn. So, na iha. Na iha here, nana, different varieties, many varieties. Nana, we say no, nana, iti, thus. Cha amnayat indraha. Amnayat is coming from the Vedic scriptures, coming from the esoteric Vedas. Amnayat indraha. It can also mean Indra. Devendra was the original Vedic god in these times. Because even in Vasarudra Aditya, Aditya has what 12 Adityas, one of the name is Vishnu also. Rudra is also there. That does not mean that Shiva is that Shiva is the Rudra here in Aditya. They were exclaimed, they were appreciated, they were hosted as Rudra, and Shiva became a Rudra, just like even Mahavishnu is being treated as Aditya. He's been Shlaganam they give. So, Amnayad Indraha Maya Bihi, by Maya only, iti api. So everything comes only through Maya. Now what is the basis? Now the basis is you say God. Now I am coming to the brass tacks of the present our living. We feel everything is real. Nobody does sacrifice that easily. I want a good job, I want money, I want house, I want education, I want to travel everywhere, I want to eat good food, I have to be healthy. Everything everybody has. It's normal. And through creation, when we were born, we have no choice. We were born by the Creator, created by the Creator. Okay, you accept. Then there is lot of partiality, differences. How it can happen? That's what even Buddha was asked. So here says, this Rishi does not say that there is no God. The Paramatma is there. Now, be very careful. The Paramatma is a state of bliss. You have to join the Paramatma. But these variations in life, one man like this, one man queen, one man pauper, one man suffering, another man happy, one man rich, another man poor. These are all by birth. When it comes through Maya, we have a karma. I am going to explain how Bhagavan Krishna says, only through Maya, every action, there is an equal and an opposite reaction. Matter cannot be created or destroyed. So you are born again to cancel out this thing. That's what I am saying. If you slaughter an animal, if for example a hyena kills a deer, the deer will be born again like a hyena, and the hyena will be born again like a deer, because matter cannot be created or destroyed. Is it not? The energy of the deer goes away, the flesh goes into the hyena's stomach, it digests, everything is matter. It will be born, so that it has to cancel. There cannot be a partiality by God, because the deer suffers. What harm did it do to the hyena? But hyena cannot live without the deer, it will die. So everything can happen through Maya, and the karma phalan, the fruits of the action, comes through Maya, which may or may not be real. So in order to avoid this, you have to meditate, fall at the feet of Lord Shiva or Mahavishnu, and then meditate on Om, or so that you don't have a rebirth. Beautifully it says, Ihachet asaktaha bodham prak sharirasya visrajaha tataha sargeshu logeshu shariradhvaya kalpate. Gadopinishad Yamadharmaraja explained, Ihachet also, in this life also through your Maya, Ihachet asaktaha bodham prak sharirasya shaktaha bodham prak sharirasya visraja. Before you throw your body, if you are not able to merge yourself with the Atma before you throw away your body, tataha, then sargeshu logeshu, in this chakra of this lokeshu, shariradvaya, through a sharira you will come, be born again. Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya. So everything acts as per the Maya. So the Rishi very clearly says, even the person who says there stands definitely on immortal, these things cannot now conclude that immortal creates mortal, because it will become mortal. So he cannot stand on his faith. Everything goes jayate mayaya. Beautiful verses. More of this philosophy I will explain till such time. Bhuyat tavat shubha mangalam arihi om.